What's going on, YouTube, Facebook, any social media outlets watching this video? Bill Mack here with another edition of Pro Wrestling Unleashed. Thanks for joining me for another video, folks, as I am here to give you my predictions for the upcoming No Mercy, which is a Raw pay-per-view that is coming on this coming Sunday. Yes, Sunday on the WWE Network. Glad you could join me. So, sorry I didn't put a video out. Maybe trying to catch these things up. It's been a little bit hectic here the past week, but I am glad to be able to be making a video today and make sure I'm getting it out for you guys. Yes, these are my predictions for the upcoming No Mercy episode. First up, we have a crew. I don't know any particular order in which the kickoff show and what matches they have in, so these are just in any order in case anything last minute happens. It's the most updated match card up until today. We have Neville taking on Enzo Amore. I'm really not feeling the feud. I'm not liking Enzo Amore. He's really become a pain. We've seen what happened to him this past week on Raw. You know, Braun just manhandled the dude. Neville was just laughing at him. But he's beginning to be underhanded. Maybe somehow he may end up being underhanded and defeat Neville. I'm actually going to make my first prediction being I think somehow Enzo's going to cheat and become the Cruiserweight champion. So Neville's done a good job of holding it, but it's about time for him to give it up. And more than just a month or a few episodes, but to turn around and actually have it. But Enzo's not would be the person I would want holding the Cruiserweight title, but just something tells me that if not, I think this pay-per-view, but if not, maybe the next one, that somehow Enzo's going to get the Cruiserweight title. So my prediction first match will be Enzo Amore taking the title away from Neville and becoming the new Cruiserweight champion. Next up, we have a matchup of Finn Balor taking on Bray Wyatt. Now, this match intrigues me. I think this is going to be a good match. They had a pay-per-view match from the time before last month, but as you remember, Bray has made it a point stating that it was the Demon, not Finn Balor, that he was defeated by. He's made it a point that the mask, talking about the paint, was nothing more than a mask to hide fear, and he also made that point against Gold Dust. Remember, this past week, Dustin Rhodes came out with the Gold Dust outfit, but didn't have the paint and the makeup on as Gold Dust, and what happened there? Finn, though, Finn to me is very athletic. I think Finn's going to win this matchup, adding further damage to the already horrendous losing record that Bray Wyatt has had. He's had well over 100+ wins and over 400+ losses. He's horrible on pay-per-views. He never really gets to win on a pay-per-view. So I don't see this being any different. I see Finn Balor beat him as the Demon. Now he's going to beat him as himself. So it'll be a man defeating the other man. Up next, we have a matchup that I really don't care for seeing. Nostalgia reasons may be. I'm just not a John Cena nor Roman Reigns fan. Remember, John Cena was a free agent, and he came over to the Raw brand to challenge Roman Reigns. Also, no fact too is that John Cena's supposed to go away. Remember, he got the lead in the Transformer spinoff. I can't remember his name now. It leaves me. Bumblebee, yeah. He's got the lead in Bumblebee, so he's going to wait to film some of that. So what usually happens before the wrestler goes away, they end up losing. John Cena's got one of the best mic skills in the company, even though WWE's the machine behind him. I thought it very hypocritical throughout this whole feud of both these guys being very hypocritical, and they've only taken the thoughts of the true wrestling fans that really see Roman Reigns and John Cena for who they truly are, and they've taken those comments and used them as a way of poking fun, even though we as real wrestling fans know the true John Cena and true Roman Reigns, and everything they were saying about each other was true. I know you and many other fans that truly enjoy wrestling and what it's all about see that and agree with that. But I already know, I feel like Roman Reigns is going to win. This is going to be my prediction just because Cena's basically going to leave and go and shoot the movie Bumblebee, so he's going to be gone for a little while. So hence he's going to lose this matchup against Roman Reigns. No reason for him to win and then leave. Up next, we have the Raw Tag Team matchup between tag team champions Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, which are the other 2/3 of the Shield, basically taking on Sheamus and Cesaro, who were the former Raw Tag Team champions. They've set up a good feud these guys have had over the last month with Sheamus and Cesaro, the Hardys, the club. They've done a good job with this. Very entertaining. They had that triple threat this past week. And all the men showed their talent. I don't see Sheamus and Cesaro winning the titles back this soon. I think somehow Seth and Dean are still going to win. They've basically Sheamus and Cesaro have tried to pick apart that he and Cesaro are on the same page like brothers, but at the drop of a hat, Seth and Dean could basically turn against each other and feed each other to the dogs, which that remains to be seen. And that seems like a sticking point that are emphasizing each time they cut a promo. So that's kind of keeping a little doubt in our minds, what could happen. So, but I see Dean and Seth right now retaining the Raw Tag Team titles. Up next, we have another title matchup. The Miz taking on Jason Jordan. Remember that they've also had a pretty decent feud. They were left off the SummerSlam card, which I really hated not to see the Miz perform on the SummerSlam, as it's one of the big four. But I see that he's been doing, as he always does, doing a good job of cutting promos. Jason Jordan has shown over the last month of being able to hang with Roman Reigns, being able to put him in there with Cena. He's had good 20, 30-minute matches, athletic matches. I see him putting on another good matchup. He looks to be legit, looks to be a good worker, and if he can handle these matches each time he puts them out, he's going to go very far in WWE, but not far enough right yet to be the Intercontinental Champion. I think Miz with the Miz Taraj and Maurice have got the cards stacked against Jason Jordan. I don't see him getting the title this quickly. Maybe next month if they're still feuding, he may do it. For right now, this point in time, I don't see Jason Jordan getting that IC title just yet. So Miz will be my pick in retaining his Intercontinental title. Up next, we have a fatal five-way for the Raw Women's Championship. The champion, Alexa Bliss, is going to be taking on Sasha Banks, taking on Bayley, who returned this past week, versus Nia Jax versus Emma, who was noticed she wasn't on Raw this week. You would have figured on the go home show she would be on Raw, but that's the way Emma's been. And why should she be? Basically, as I told you in my last Raw video, they only want Emma to take the loss. She already knows she's going to take the loss. It just depends on who's going to win. So if you know you're going to take the loss, why even worry about it? They totally misused her. She can wrestle. Put her down to NXT where they'll let her wrestle or let her go. That was what I said last time. I mean that this time as well. So it's really a big toss-up in the air. It could be anyone. I mean, I don't want to see Sasha get it over again. They all gunning for Alexa. That could be a problem. And maybe Bayley could win it. I mean, this is shot in dark. Nia Jax would be my dark horse. Bayley could win it, but she really hasn't had a good storyline in the matchup other than coming back from injury. So this is like a 20% chance of picking this matchup, but I'm going to think that maybe Nia Jax may take it. This is my choice. It may not be a logical choice, but she's not had a chance with the title yet, and Emma's going to be pinned, so who better than Nia Jax to do it? Last but not least, and this is the one I will be waiting to watch. This is for the WWE Universal Championship matchup. You have the Beast, Brock Lesnar, taking on the monster among men, Braun Strowman. Folks, these two mammoths are going to collide. I can't wait to watch it. Braun has really shown himself. They pushed him as a monster. He really is. He has totally decimated Brock from SummerSlam when Brock retained his title. Remember, folks, Braun done the most damage to Brock Brock, but Brock too. The thing is where I kind of would love to see Braun win. I would love. Notice what I said. I would love to see Braun win, but WWE has shown over the past few months their history with Brock. Brock will get beat down during the shows, and then when the pay-per-view comes, Brock's going to walk out champion. I don't see this as being no different. I think he's supposed to feud with Roman Reigns still. I would love to see Braun have that title because I think the man needs the title now. His mic skills are improving. He's a big wrestler. He can wrestle, and he shows that he can handle and hang right in there with Brock. So I just feel that Brock's going to walk out and retain his Universal title. Maybe, I don't know when Samoa Joe's supposed to come back. Joe might interfere in the match. May have something to do with it. I'm not sure. But I just feel like Brock's going to retain the title. So those are my picks. So just to recap for the pay-per-view, Enzo Amore capturing the Cruiserweight title, Finn Balor defeating Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns defeating John Cena, Seth and Dean retaining the Raw Tag Team titles, The Miz retaining the Intercontinental title, Nia Jax potentially pinning and winning the Raw Women's title, and Brock Lesnar retaining. I know I have a lot of retainings, but I think I think this is going to be a good pay-per-view. I do like the matches, and if everybody performs like they should, it's going to be a good pay-per-view. So I hope you folks watch. I will be giving a prediction show, and or my review show. I hope you enjoy the pay-per-view, and I'll be back with another video. So until next time, for Pro Wrestling Unleashed, this is your man, Bill Mack, saying, take it easy.
Yeah.